At the start of the film, we see a girl running away from two boys. She stole their chemical substances and ran away. To hide them, she comes to a factory. She was successful in breaking the factory lock and going inside. Before they could do anything, a can of spinach came into them, which Popeye used to eat. A boy had heard the story of Popeye. To show himself cool, he said to Popeye, "If you want your well-being, then go away from here." Hearing his words, Popeye got angry. She extended her big hand and pulled the boy into the dark, and he tore his organs out of his body. To save his life, the other boy wanted to blackmail Popeye by putting a knife at the girl's neck. But this boy's action was too much for him. To save the girl, Popeye slightly shook his hand, and his hand broke. After that, Popeye kept his mouth between his hands and squeezed his entire mouth. And the boy died there. Popeye helped the girl a lot. But the girl said to Popeye, "You turned out to be a monster." Hearing this, Popeye got angry. In the same anger, he killed the girl. And here we were shown the title of the movie, Popeye the Slayer. Anyway, we see a boy named Dexter. He has to make a documentary on Popeye while going to the same factory. We have seen this factory before. Olivia was with him at that time, and they were going to go to that factory with their 3 other friends. In the factory, we see the owner of the factory, Lex. He is talking about selling this factory to a state agent. The state agent says, "I will sell this factory." But before that, it is important that the rumors related to this factory end. Lex asked, "What kind of rumors?" She said 20 years ago this factory was sealed because some infections were found in the spinach here. And if that news was false, then why didn't the factory run after that? And if not all this, then does Popeye really live here? Now they were talking. That Lex started to smell weird from here. He went ahead to check. While the girl standing behind was scared, suddenly she heard the sound of heavy footsteps, which were moving towards her quickly. Suddenly someone came and put her hand on her shoulder, and she screamed loudly, and then she found out that he was the guard here. The girl was very scared, despite the explanation of Lex that he was only the guard here. She doesn't stay here but takes her stuff and runs away from here, and in this hurry, she forgets her file here. After that, Lex was also about to leave the factory. Before leaving, he told his healthy guard, "If there is anyone in this factory, end him. Because soon, the deal of this factory is going to happen, and I don't want the deal to be canceled." Saying this, Lex leaves from here. And that healthy bodyguard starts his work without fear. He was visiting the whole factory, but then he saw the same 2 corpses, which Popeye had killed a while ago. At the same time, giant Popeye came in front of him. This man attacked Popeye, considering himself very powerful, but Popeye didn't care. Popeye threw him down by hitting him with one hand, and then without much effort, he crushed his head by putting his foot on his head, and killed him too. Here we see the group of friends again. They had gone to a bar from where they had to pick up another friend. She finishes her work in the meantime, so these people start talking about Popeye the Slayer Man. Katie believed that these are all stories. It can't be true. An old man sitting behind was also listening to them, who tells them, "Don't take these things as a joke." In that factory, Popeye the Slayer Man is still alive, and he is waiting there for his love. If you all love your life, then don't go there. While they were talking, Katie's boyfriend and some of his stray friends also came here. After that, all these people leave for the factory. As soon as they reached the factory, Olivia saw someone standing at the factory window, which was Popeye. But in the blink of an eye, he disappeared from there. Now there was a lock on the factory. How do they make a documentary? These people decide to break the lock, but it is not necessary, because Olivia opens the lock in a minute, as if it is her daily work. Upon entering the factory, we see that Katie gets a call from her boyfriend, that she disconnects instead of picking it up, and so her boyfriend goes crazy with anger. Something strange was going on in his mind, but his friends add fuel to his anger, and said that maybe you're Katie and Dexter are not in a relationship. If this is the case, then we should catch them red-handed in the factory. Thinking this, all 3 of them leave for the factory. Here, because they had to make a documentary, they could not work together. They took Katie to the monitor. Dexter and Olivia went to put cameras on one side, while their other two friends went to look on the other side. Olivia and Dexter get scared for a few minutes because a can was coming in front of them again and again. Popeye the Sailor Man's spinach can. Seeing this, they started panicking. But after a while, they found out that there are some pigeons in this factory. Those who were dropping these cans in front of them. Now they still believe that Popeye is not here, although they don't know that Popeye was standing behind them when he lit his cigar. We see that Dexter sets cameras everywhere. Popeye is also captured in these cameras, but Katie was so busy on her phone that she did not pay attention to the footage, and she didn't even know about Popeye. In the meantime, we saw that the state agent also came back here, whose documents were left here in the morning. While taking out the documents, the guard's corpse comes in front of her, who she had seen alive in the morning. The corpse's face was in such a bad condition that she screamed. Now she turned back. Popeye the Slayer Man was also in front of her. That is, her death was in front of her eyes. To save herself, she runs away from here and tries to hide in a room. But her hair is left outside the door, which Popeye grabs and pulls so hard that it goes down to her scalp. She was in such a bad condition from the pain that she fell there. And Popeye then came to that room, and he picked up this girl. Popeye puts her in a spinach cutting machine and makes minced meat out of her. Here we see that Dexter and Olivia have reached the office here. And in the middle of the conversation, Olivia tells Dexter that she left that town years ago and just came back a while ago for some special work. Anyway, it was important to collect the documents from here, which could tell about the past of this factory and the myths related to it. The problem was that they didn't have the keys again, but Olivia shows her skills here again and opens all the drawers without the key. They get a report from these drawers, from which they find out the truth of this factory. It is said that it was sealed because poisonous things were found in the spinach cans here. A special kind of poisonous bacterium was found in the spinach cans here. Dexter is surprised that such a big thing is not published in the news. So Olivia tells that Lex is the owner of more than half the city. His reach is very high. It was not a big deal for him to cover this matter. Now he was talking about all this. That their other two companions also came to this room, and these four now moved forward together. They went to a room where a poem was written on the walls. This poem was written to scare everyone from Popeye the Slayer Man. It was written that if you smell smoke from close, save yourself. And if you are scared, then understand that you have been killed by Popeye. Here we see that Joey and her friends had also come to the factory. His anger was at its peak, while here Popeye had come to Katie. Katie, who was completely unaware, suddenly screamed at Popeye and ran away to save her life. She bumps into Joey before she could tell anything to her boyfriend, Joey. In anger, Joey does not listen to her and breaks her phone. Popeye now follows them. Seeing Popeye, one of the three boys acts over smartly, quickly appears in front of Popeye and stabs his knife in his shoulder. But with such small attacks, Popeye was not going to be affected. The boy who did this, Popeye grabs him and pulls his eyes out. Seeing this, when the other boy came in front and took his gun, but Popeye gave a slight shock and broke his hand. Seeing this, the boy ran away from here in fear, and along with Joey, Katie's boyfriend too. He left his friend here to die alone. But the surprising thing was that Popeye had not said anything to Katie yet. Here we see that the boy who ran outside, he quickly sits in his car, and as soon as he tries to run away from here, the car does not move forward. He looks back. So Popeye was picking up his car from behind. Seeing this, he got scared. He ran out of the car. So Popeye also ran after him and caught him by hitting an anchor. Because of this anchor, he died. But Popeye did not leave him like this. He wanted to make his death terrible. He cut off the man's throat with this anchor. While here in the factory, we were shown Joey, Katie's boyfriend, was still looking for a way out of the factory. At that time, he heard someone's footsteps from behind. He thought it was Popeye. Without thinking, he fired a bullet, but it was Katie. Hearing the sound of the gun, Popeye came here. Here once again, seeing Popeye. He left Katie in the same trouble and ran away. Here these four again divide into two groups and start looking for Katie. Their two companions also find a dead body here. Seeing this, they get scared and immediately decide to complain to the police. Now these people were thinking that Popeye came in front of them again. In an attempt to escape from Popeye, these people run. So by mistake, the boy's foot gets stuck in something and he falls down. He did not get much hurt from the accident, but his foot was stuck in a net. To get his foot out, as soon as he shakes this net, some pieces of the iron rods from the net fall on his body and get stabbed, due to which this boy dies in front of his companion. That girl was even more scared at this time, because all his blood was spilled on this girl's face. Popeye was still behind her. Seeing this, she shouted again and started trying to run away from here, but she was not able to escape from Popeye. She passed from the same place where her companion had just passed. So she also fell down due to getting stuck in something, at the same place where her companion had fallen. She fell on her companion. That girl was also stabbed by the iron rods inside the boy's body, and she was also killed. Here it is shown that Olivia and Dexter, who are unaware of all these things, they reach a room where there are a lot of spinach cans, and there are also pictures of Popeye and his family. Here we can see the real form of Popeye. There were some toys here. These were of Popeye's daughter. Some newspaper cuttings were also lying here, from which they come to know that, actually, Popeye's wife used to work in this factory, and she had leaked the matter of poisonous spinach, after which this factory closed. And then Popeye's wife was not found. Lex made her killed. Popeye, who was mad in love with her. He stopped in this factory to find her. He is still looking for his wife. He is waiting for her in this factory. To stay alive in this factory, he eats the same poisonous spinach, because of which his body has been deformed, has been mutated, and now he has become a kind of monster. After listening to the whole story, these people are now scared and decide to get out of here quickly. But before that, they had to scare their other companions too. But what did they get here? The corpses of their companions, seeing whom they get scared. Dexter decided that these people will leave this factory from the second exit. And as soon as he went to the second exit, Dexter collided with Popeye. Popeye held his hand and hung him. Dexter's hand broke with his small move. Before Popeye killed him mercilessly, Olivia tells him to leave him. And surprisingly, we see that Popeye agrees with Olivia. And it is revealed here. Olivia was actually Popeye's daughter, who came back to this factory after many years to meet her dad, and in the hope of finding her mom. Olivia was looking at her dad after many years. Both of them were very emotional. They were about to hug each other. From behind, Joey, who was alive here, shot Popeye. Now Popeye was angry. He was about to kill Joey, but Joey tried to save himself, catch Olivia. But this was his biggest mistake. He held Popeye's daughter. It was enough to make him angry. With the hand with which he held Popeye's daughter, Popeye pulled his hand and broke it, and with the same hand, he punished him and he killed him. While Popeye was doing all this, Olivia took Dexter and came out of here. As soon as they went out, they found a wounded Katie who was shot. The police had also come here that was caught by Katie. When the police came to take their statement, Olivia did not tell about Popeye but lied here, that a madman did all this. When the police ask about that man, Olivia tells another lie, that the man ran away from there, while we are shown that Popeye was still looking at them from the window, and he knew that Olivia would definitely come to meet him again, because in Lex's factory, there was another big incident, so a lot of things started happening. His deal was about to be canceled, so in this tension, he came to his factory, and he met with Popeye, who looks at him and says some weird things, and then takes his mouth in between his hands and crushes it, and he dies here. And while showing this story ends here.